Willie D Live.
In the studio, Remembering Me podcast host, and among other things, Doc Diddler.
Yes, sir.
And his wife, Candyss Love. I started to say lovely little wife, but I didn't want to sound redundant because I know everybody probably say that same thing because you all love it.
Thank you.
I'm sure a lot of people like to say that when they introduce y'all together, right?
Absolutely.
They say that a lot of bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Y'all do a lot of things, man. Y'all do mediation, soul coaching, podcasts. You got the books.
Yeah.
Y'all do
Retreats.
content creation.
Yeah, retreats, yep.
Yeah, you do retreats. What, man? How do y'all find time for y'all?
Oh, easy. It's easy.
Facts.
How?
You know, to be able to put things together of that magnitude, which requires us to give all of ourselves, because this is what we were ordained to do. It also requires that we intentionally take time to nurture ourselves, to have silence, to have solitude, to have date days that don't require us giving any energy to anybody else. Even when it comes to him and I, we have separate rooms in our house, so we can always have our personal energy when it's necessary. Sometimes we are still in love, but we may only speak 10 words to one another that day because we are sharing our own personal energy, and that is okay. It's allowed. It's a beautiful thing, and it's wanted, because in any relationship or with any job, you know, you have to have a solid foundation of your individuality first, individual growth first, and then everything else follows.
Absolutely.
You said 10 words in a day? And y'all together the whole time?
It's times. It's not often, but there are those times where individuality got to be respected in a relationship. And sometimes it could become overwhelming because people don't know how to be with themselves. And if they feel the impulse to do so, they don't feel comfortable telling their partner, because their partner may feel away because they're not comfortable with their individuality and me time. So for the most part, we bugging out, we chilling, we playing and doing stuff. But it's those days where she got to go into her healing, her emotions, vice versa. And we respect those times when they come. But for the most part, we just in our bag. We do our date nights every single week. We alternate. She just paid for me last week, so I got to hold it down this week. But yeah, it's a beautiful balance, and we have that freedom when necessary for me to go in the room downstairs, for her to go in the room downstairs and have our own space.
Nice, yeah. I believe that. That's why, you know, I enjoy the space that I am.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I can go to a different room,
Right.
different part of the house,
Right.
and just, you know, be to myself.
Exactly.
And then when I'm good again,
Right.
and I can go back, you know, and
Right.
connect. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And you bring that energy back once you've had that solitude. You may be thinking about certain things. You may have seen something funny on Instagram. You come back, now y'all got something fresh to talk about. So it even impacts the relationship in a beautiful way. Yeah.
Some people feel pressure, though, to always be next to that person. Some people have to be like, well, you know, like, I want you next to me. I want to feel you next to me, but you may not feel like being next to that person at that moment. How do you get each other to respect that space?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a beautiful segue, and I'll hand it over to you after I say that. But that thing right there, that book that I'm sure she's going to talk about in a few seconds, when the idea came to her, initially she just wanted to go to an Airbnb to like really lock in, not be in the comfort of the home. And it was supposed to be, 2-3 days? It ended up being like almost a month. Of course, she was coming home back and forth, but for the most part, she was like, yo, I'm in a good rhythm. How do you feel about me staying here a little longer? And understanding her capacity as a quote-unquote healer in this realm and how long she's been writing this book, because her mom has been telling her, just write down your life. At some point, it's going to become a book. So when that seed started to sprout, I had to hold down the masculine energy of, I'm going to be okay by myself until you get that out. And a lot of times people don't have that ability. So sometimes it's months at a time where we need to be able to have our own space to do what we got to do for this world.
Yeah, I think it's also about setting really healthy boundaries initially, because first of all, we were long distance before we were actually together.
For 2 years.
Yeah.
Now, were you in New Jersey?
Yeah,
at the
I'm
time?
from Newark, so I was in Jersey. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you were in Houston? Right.
Yeah. So that I'm an only child too. So personal space for me is imperative. Solitude is imperative. And having my moments where I need silence is imperative. But one thing that we were very clear about from the beginning is the individual aspect of the healing journey. Everything that we're passionate about is God and healing. And so if that is the groundwork, when I have to express that I need personal time for whatever that is, even if I just wanted to go write a book for a month, it's something that's respected because he understands it is a part of my journey that he may not be included in. There may be certain things that are a part of his journey that I'm not included in, and I have to honor him, honor his personal time, his personal space, so he can cultivate whatever he needs to cultivate. If it's meant for us to do it together, then we will. But that boundary is set and everybody respects it.